Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you happen to be on the succulent planet we call Earth, wherever you happen to be on our humble planet, I hope you're having a scintillating day, even night, wherever you are. Welcome to my 3D channel. But as I love to say, if you're curious about Blender and using one of those other derivatives of a 3D application, you're welcome to stay, because the topic of the day is exclusively a Blender related topic. It may be in the other packages in one form or the other, but you know, they all have their different little quirks about them. So it's dealing with our topic of the day is dealing with UV mapping and how to handle object data that UV map tab. Let me go right in. Let me go right to my material shader. And you see right here, I have a little simple rock. Let me take it out of edit mode for now. A simple rock that I made. It looks authentic. Even though it's low power, it looks authentic, because you know most rocks, they have sharp edges on them. I haven't seen a sometimes they smooth, but for the most part, rocks have sharp edges because they get chipped off a mountain or something. And this type of rock you can find in lakes, streams, mountains, valleys, wherever. I'm going to go over with that UV map thing, how to make your maps, your rocks look distinct without having to do a whole lot of work. So let's jump right in. Now, before I use the UV editor, you should always do this first after you manipulate your particular rock. You see over here where I have scale to 1. So the first thing you should do after you made your manipulation to whatever shape, whatever figure that you made, whether it's a humanoid shape or any organic shape, you should always hit Control A. That will control your scale, rotation, and I believe, let me hit the button, Control A, and your location. So that's the first thing that you should do. So, and that's for everything that you're doing for UV. When you're dealing with UV, it's important to always make your scale 1 and everything else 1. Then you'll be good to go. Then you should have no trouble with putting your UV map on it. But I just did a simple one. I didn't do nothing hard and complicated. I didn't do a lot of thinking. So after I erase this, we'll go right into that UV map. Alright, so I'm going to my UV editor right there, nice and simple. I clicked on it, I didn't adjust no windows. You see over here, I have my object on my left, and to the right, we see I have my figure, my rock with the shape on there. And also, every time you use the UV, it's important to have it in that material or shading mode. Or if you wanted to, you can put it in the render view. But most of the time, just have it in shading mode. It will not work. Okay, it is working in object mode. It's working in shading mode too. So I guess it don't matter which one I put it in this case. But usually we always put it in report shading. So I'll leave it there. Alright, so we got the size, rotation, and scale set. Now we go right to object data. And it's important to have this in edit mode. See, it's in object mode, so I'm going to put it in it. So when you're doing UV editing, you put it in edit mode. Now, I'm not going to go over showing you how I got my image here and how I UV unwrapped it onto my rock figure. There are a ton of videos on whatever educational platform you're using that dealing with Blender that will show you how to do that. So I'm going to skip all that, how I made the UV. There's 1,000 videos on that. So you can watch any of those. So we got my little shape and it's UV unwrapped. Next, I'm going to go to object data. I want to minimize what I don't need. And you see it's called UV map. For my little demonstration, I just need 3 of them. 1, that's 2, 3. That's all I want. But you can put as many as you want. I'm going to call this rock 1. I'm going to correspond everything with rock 2. Going down, rock 3. There we go. Now, I'm going to leave rock 1. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to leave rock 1 just like that. Maybe I should put it in the center. Next. And you see, when you look over to my right, it's moving. That's the main thing. I'll move my UV map, and it's correspond to my image on the right. Next, I'm going to go to rock 2. Click on it. Activate it. I want to scale it in. And you see how it's looking now. That looks good. So that's good. Let me click back on rock 1. Rock 2. Alright, good, it's working. That's the main thing. So you see it's working. When you see that UV maps changing, it's working. I'm going to click on rock 3 last. I just want to scale it outward. Make it large. But it's not. Now, this is the important thing. You see, when you look on the right, it's not changing. It's not corresponding on that image to the right. So whenever you go to another UV map and you work on one here, if you want the UV map that you on, in this case rock 3, I have to click on that little camera. Then as you see, when I scale it, you see what's happening. I want to scale it to it. Well, it don't look much different than the other one. I did the first one. But what if I rotate it? Rotate on Z. Okay, that looks a little different. I'm going to scale it out a little bit. Okay, it looks a little bit different, unique. So, let me check before I move on. I'm going to click back on number 1. It's working because it switched back to that first one. If I want to see the rock, I click on the camera. You see it switched. Let's click on rock 2. I want to see it. So that UV map changed, so that lets you know it did something. But to see the effect, I have to click on my camera. There we go. I'm going to click on number 3. It did something. You see it got large. That's what I like about it. You don't have to be doing no guessing. Then I click on my camera. Good. So we're done with this. So that's the beauty of it. Now I'm going to show you what's the beauty of this. So I'm going to do no more hard work making things unique. So I'm going to just duplicate this one. Shift D. I'm going to go to my object data. I'm going to see my UV maps. That's number 3. So that's number 3. I want to shift D. Move it up. GX. Move it up. I wonder where my mouse, but I'm not going to worry about this center point right here. I'll worry about that because I'm not doing nothing sophisticated. Click on rock 2. So you see a change. I want to duplicate it. Shift D. Move it over. GY. But you see it looks different. Now I'm going to click on rock 1. I'm going to hit Shift D. GX. I'm going to go to rock 1. Click on rock 1. Okay, that's rock 1. Yeah. 3. Okay. So that's 1. That's 1. Yeah, it looks different. Yeah, I can tell. Shift D. G. Y. So now we see, people, all my rocks look different. Now I want to go into top view. Top view. We see all of them look different. Here's rock 1. Here's rock 2. All different looks. Now, I want to make it look more realistic. I can just move things around. G. Move it around. I want to make it random. Randomize it. G. Move it up. And G. And G. Move it over. Then I can move it. I can rotate it to make it more rotate. Oh, see, that's why. See that origin. I better set the origin. object, set origin to geometry. I better do that for all of them. Object. So there's something new to you because you see my origin point is right here. This is my origin for the new people. I'm saying this for the new people. My origin right there. So when I rotate it, it's rotating around that point. That's only for the new people, not for the veterans. For the veterans, I expect you to know that little origin point. Only for the new people. So I'm gonna go for the new people only. I'm gonna go to object. For the new people, object, set origin, and to origin to geometry. Zap. I gotta do that for all of them. So now you got the idea. Here's my little dot. I'm gonna move quicker now. I'm just gonna move fast. I'll check them all. Because I want to do something else with these little rocks. Origin. That. Okay, that's the origin. Origin. Okay, that's the last one. Alright. Set origin. Now I want to give it a distinct look. So I just want to rotate it slightly. Rotate it in it. Rotate Z. Rotate X. Rotate. Okay, the origin is so I gotta go over here. Set the origin. Set origin. Okay. Now I'm gonna rotate. I can do that. Rotate Y a little bit. Rotate on the Z a little bit. And then y'all got a distinct look. And you see right here, people, you see if you measure rock formations, all my rocks, as you can see, they look slightly different. All because I just used 3 simple rocks or 3 different UV maps. And you know, I can go into the shader if I wanted to, but I said I didn't want to use the shader in this episode for the new people. I just want to see for the new people. I'm not going to scare you by using the shaders, but you see I did not use the shader, which I can do. But you see, for the new people, all I did was go into UV maps and gave each of my map rock a distinct different look. Now there's more to the UV map. I just did something real basic with it. You can do a lot more with the UV maps. Because I can even change that picture. You remember that picture right here? When you get advanced to the UV maps, I can even change this picture if I wanted to. But from what I saw from videos I've seen, to do that you have to go to them shaders. And I wanted to stay away from those shaders. I may see if I can use it without shaders, but I think you have to go to those shaders because the image is set. I can change, as you saw, I changed the UV part. Like right here, you see, I changed the UV. That's dynamic because it's dealt with this the UV map right here. That's the UV map. The image is something else different. But we see, good people, for those who want to make a landscape, you want to make it rocks, or you want to make your bee. Now, if I made a bee or ant, you know, the eyes in a certain spot. So I would just make subtle changes, but it would still be unique to each of them. For a bee, I would just make very subtle changes. I may stretch it. I may stretch it, shrink it. That's a tad bit to make each look different. But you see right here, good people, all my rocks. Now, since I scattered them around, you can't tell if it's a copy or not. When I moved it, they all look different. And you know, when you rotate it and stuff, and I can even can scale some of them in a little tiny bit. I even can make some a little bit larger. You see that? Scale it in a little bit more. I can make it larger a little more. That give it even more distinctiveness. Make it larger. Oops. Oh, that one's like that. See? Now they're like actual rocks. And they all look different. That's the beauty of people. So now, when you want to make a landscape with rocks, all you need to do is go to UV map, make your rocks, etc. You want to make your marbles, but marbles different color. It really works well when things is basically one color. Like most rocks have the same color. I said if you want to make it look different color, you may have to go to the shader. Thank you for stopping by, adding to your knowledge and my knowledge of blending, because I learned about this yesterday. As I say to the new people out there, don't stop, keep moving forward. And I love this little thing, because when I make particles and stuff, this will come in handy with particles. Like I say, even with geometry notes, it'll come in handy with that. For the new people, don't stop. You keep moving. You keep learning like I do. I keep learning. I say, this is not my profession. I'm an educator by trade. But I love the 3D world. When I got onto Blender 2.76, I got hooked, and I haven't looked back since. So keep moving. Don't stop. Don't give up. Till the next time, Blender family, 3D family, peace.